what's going on YouTube, man? James DeGale versus Rogelio or Medina or Porky Medina. It was like Chunky versus Porky. But anyway, I'm gonna try to keep this short, man. Yeah. This was a good fight, man. This was a good fight. I had a feeling, man. That this fight might be an upset, man. I had a feeling this fight might be an upset. Like James DeGale, he was really looking past Medina because he was like, man, there's levels, there's levels. And I'm on this, Medina, he's at this level. I'm at this level, You know what I'm saying? Even after the fight, James DeGale was saying, like, no disrespect. But, guys like Medina, I should be, like, knocking out, man. It's, he admitted, man, it was a bad night. It was a bad night. Like, he really underestimated Porky Medina. Like, I don't think, cause he laid it on Porky Medina. Medina was still there coming, and I had a feeling like, man, it just might be an upset. And when I saw the fight happen, cause look at Medina, man. Look at Medina. Medina is coming off 4 KO victories in a row, including Jalen Love, the highly touted, Mayweather money team prospect, Jalen Love. He knocked him out. You know what I'm saying? He knocked him out. He did the same thing. He chased him down. He walked him down. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I'm like, if you don't know, now you know. James DeGale likes to lay up on the ropes. And not only that, he has a lot of movement and whatnot, and that can be tiring, man. James DeGale is not like he's 22 years old, phenom, gold medalist, something like that. This guy is mature. He's in his prime now. He's trying to make the best fights happen, like right now, which I really appreciate and stuff like that. But Medina, he's a young guy too. Porky Medina he's a young guy too. He's from Mexico, and he's trying to become a champion as well. You get what I'm saying? So he's trying to live the dream just like James DeGale is trying to live the dream. So you can see Porky Medina, he's in his prime too. He's in his prime form too. Yeah, so I had a feeling like, man, it's going to be like a tough fight, man. And I'm watching this with family. And I got my uncle, man, he's talking junk, talk about, yeah, James is getting his butt whipped, But when James DeGale decided to let his hands go, he looked, his skill level looked light years or levels above Medina. Not saying Medina ain't no good. I'm just saying when he wanted to back Medina up and, plat his feet on the ground, dig in, let off some shots. I mean, those uppercuts and the jab and everything was, beautiful. Medina backed up when he got hit with those beautiful uppercuts, straight right, sometimes looping right hands. Sometimes James DeGale was able to land him like, 2 or 3 times in a row. I mean, beautiful stuff, man. Just great stuff, man. He was pivoting, moving out the way, dancing, and a lot of the stuff. And I think that's why Medina didn't get credit for any of the work he did on the ropes. You know what I'm saying? When he had James DeGale on the ropes and stuff like that, he did what he had to do. There's a few times Porky Medina was able to catch James DeGale in the center of the ring and stuff like that. But primarily when, James DeGale, man, he just controlled the action, man. It's like, it wasn't like Medina was cutting off the ring so great and enforcing his will so great where it was like James DeGale was on survival mode the whole fight. Like the last couple of rounds, I'm gonna say like maybe the last 3 or so, it looked like James DeGale was on survival mode. So I can give Medina like the last 3 rounds. If it was like a 15-round fight, I think James DeGale probably would have. You can make an argument that James DeGale probably would have lost the fight if nothing had changed, or he probably was on his way to being knocked out. That's the way it looked like. Everything's about perception. Everything's about perception. And this is where James DeGale, I think, won a lot of rounds, is that he was constantly taunting Medina. He had the sharper punches. He had the slicker moves. His punches they're more clean. They're more, they're more, not effective, but like you saw him, like you couldn't help but seeing like these wonderful uppercuts and stuff like that. And James DeGale, he's like walking around the ring, a lot of showmanship and stuff like that. A lot of bravado. In Medina, he was just very consistent, which he needed to be. Medina, he needed to be because he wasn't the most talented fighter, in that ring. He was not the most talented fighter. As far as the most consistent, you can make a good, argument that he was more consistent, more determined, on more focused. You can give him that, man. You can give him that, man, because he came out to win, which I don't know, man. I think Medina might be back, man. I think Medina might be back. You know what I'm saying? I think he might be back. He did a great job, man. He did a great job in his performance. Some of the scores were a little bit blown out of proportion. The 115 and 113. We gotta give him credit for the work he did on the ropes. There's sometimes James DeGale didn't do nothing the whole round, but move around the ring. That was pretty much it, and lay up on the ropes to get beat up. And you have to be fair, man. You got to give Medina those rounds, and in some of those cases, So the 115, 113, I think it was fair. I think DeGale got it. If it wasn't by 2 rounds, at least a round. James DeGale won the fight. And then at the end of the day, who do you want to see? Who do you really want to see? Win the fight at the end of the day? And it's pretty much James DeGale. He's the champion, so the close round is gonna go to the champion. Like I said, Medina would have been best served if he was able to get James DeGale out. But James DeGale, even with his defense, man, he just looked so impressive. It was one time he was on the ropes, and he's just has his hands down. Medina's just throwing all these punches. It makes Medina look bad. You get what I'm saying? You got the dude on the ropes, and you bang it to the body, you throwing punches to the head, and like you can't get the dude out of there. So that really made Medina look bad. That I know if you look at James DeGale's face, you can see like Medina hit him. Yes, of course. Medina at one point was averaging over like 100 punches a round. He only faded out at the tail end of the round. I think it went down to maybe like 60 or 70 or something like that. I don't have no punch stats up. But he was very high volume at the beginning. But at that same time, James DeGale was slipping a lot of punches and moving. And I think it's just skill levels. Like he said, James DeGale said, man, skill levels, skills pay the bills. You know what I'm saying? Skills pay the bills. And they did. They showed up. They did. And I think the judges scored it based on not only that James DeGale was, the champion. He not only showed bravado, he showed a lot of, I see you say ring generalship, and he showed that he was like a class above. He showed that he wasn't in any trouble. You get what I'm saying? That's what the perception was. Him being, if he was an artist, or maybe you're in the media or something like that, what kind of perception are you trying to give out? What do you want people to see? You know what I'm saying? And that's what he showed, that he was levels above Medina. So Medina, where does he go next? I have no idea, man. I don't have any rankings up on here, but maybe BoxRec. But I don't know where does he rank in these sanctioning bodies and stuff like that. Medina, he did go up in the rankings after this loss. So he's in the top 30, the top 50. He's ranked right up under Rocky Fielding, a British super middleweight. So that's good. He went up in the rankings. So I'm glad he went up in the rankings. I think he can. I really do think he can maybe go after another belt, man. He could probably go up another belt. Maybe he can do something in the future. He will be back on Premier Boxing Champions for sure, man. He'll be back, man. But let me know what y'all think, man. Let me know what y'all think. I know it's a little bit of a rant. I try to keep it short, but it was so much, so much to talk about in this fight, man. Let me know what y'all think. All right, bye.